All right, guys, here's the answers for today. Hopefully you were able to do them by yourself in class. We start with, for this one, for the cone, we start with the circle on top. So the circle, the area is pi r squared. We get the radius is 3, so that means the area is 9 pi. For the volume, we're going to take that 9 pi on top, this 9 pi, and we're going to let it grow downwards by 8. So we're going to multiply it by 8, and we get 72 pi. But then we're going to crush the sides in at the bottom to make it to a point. So we're going to divide by 3, and that gives us 24 pi units cubed because it's 3D. All right, for this one, we're going to choose 10 as the bottom. For these, the area equals 1/2 because triangles are a half. The base times the height, we're going to choose 10 as the base because if that's the floor, this is the ceiling, and we know straight up to the ceiling is 6. So that's the height. Area equals 1/2, 10 times 6, 60, 1/2 of 60 is 30 units squared. For this one, remember, we always have for spheres, we always have the 4/3, we always have the pi, and we always have the radius to the 3rd power because it's a 3D shape. So for this, 15 times 15 times 15 is 3,375. So when we multiply all those together in our calculator, 4/3 times 3.14 times 3,375, we get 14,130 units to the 3rd power because it's 3D shape. Over here, I don't care about the 10 over here. I care about the 5. So we start with the circle, and the area equals pi r squared. So we take the 5 and we square it, and that gives us 25 pi for the circle. And then we let the circle grow 10 times. We stretch it out downwards. So we multiply it by 10 to get the volume, and we get 250 pi units cubed because it's 3D. All right, number 5, pretty easy. Pi r squared, the radius is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. We throw a pi on the back end, it's squared because it's flat shape. All right, this one was tough. If the whole volume of this cone was 12 pi, and I wrote 12 pi over here, that the volume of the cone was 12 pi, if we took the 12 pi and we stretched it out and made it bigger and we turned it back into a cylinder, we uncrushed it. We stretched it back out. When we crush something, we make it 3 times smaller. So if we uncrush it and we turn it into this shape, the big cylinder, then we just made it 3 times bigger. So instead of being 12 pi, now it's 36 pi. So this whole red shape now is 36 pi. Now, if the top shape, just the circle, has a radius of 3, that means the circle has an area of 9 pi. So 9 pi is up here, but the whole thing is 36 pi. That must mean that if we stretch it down, we must have stretched it down 4 times to get from 9 pi to 36 pi. So to stretch the circle into the cylinder, we went from 9 pi to 36 pi, which means we had to have gotten 4 times bigger. So the height was 4. That was a tough one. All right, this one's pretty easy. We get the area of the square in front, and we get area equals length times width. Area equals 6 times 6. Area equals 36 is how much this area in here is. But then we're going to let it stretch backwards by 4. We're going to make it 4 times bigger. And we can tell by here it's going to stretch backwards by 4. So we multiply by 4, and the volume equals 144 units cubed. So we got the square, and we stretched it back. Number 8. Here's my base is 7 for the triangle, and the height is also 7 to the top, straight up and down. So we take area equals 1/2 of 7 times 7, which is 1/2 of 49, which is 24.5 if we do it in a calculator, if we divide 49 by 2. But then we're going to let it grow. It's going to grow backwards this way. It's going to keep growing. It's going to grow. We're going to stretch it that way, and it stretches that way by 8. So times 8 is our volume, and our volume is 196 units cubed. All right, over here, here were the lines, and here were the answers. That's where they belong to be. You make the triangles for each of them. And I'm not going to do all of these. I think you can do these, but you can see you count the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 5 and 3 and 4 and 4 and think I graphed that one wrong. Okay, 3 and 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8. Did I do this one wrong over here? Let's see. That one would have been 6, -3, and 10, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is where it belonged down there. Ooh, I did do it wrong. Something looked wrong down there. So it would have been down here, which means this would have been 5, and this would have been 4. Okay, so that's where I went wrong on that one. And then you square them, so 7 becomes like 49, and 8 becomes 64. We add those together, and we get 113. And then we have to take the square root of 113, which is around 10.6. So I think you guys know how to do those ones. Here's the equations for these ones. For like number 14, I look at number 14, that line with the red. I see that from red dot to red dot, we go up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. So I put y equals up 2 over 3x. And then I see that it hits the y-intercept right here at +3. So I put +3 at the back. Those are all pretty easy to do. If I look at number 15 goes down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, down 4 over 1, which is -4. So y equals -4x. There's my, and then where does it start? -1, -2, -3, -4. It starts down here at -4. So -4x minus 4. This number 16 starts at 0, so that it's going to be a +0, but we don't have to do it. And it goes, let's see, we'll start over here. It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, 2, 3. So it was 4/3 x. And finally, number 17 starts down here at -7. So that's why this is -7. And it goes up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it goes over 8. So up 1 over 8. And there's the equations for that one. All right, these ones. Let's see. 27 was 80 degrees. So this was 80 degrees. This was 60 degrees. In an intersection, if we know that's 60, then we know this is 60. We know a straight line has to be 180, so this one has to be 120, because together these two have to be 180 to be a straight line. That means across the way, this has to be 120. This intersection is the same as this intersection because these lines are parallel. So that means this is 60, this is 60, this is 120, this is 120. They're the same intersection. Okay, 80 there, so across the way is 80 here. That means this is 100 because they add to 180. Okay, and now the big thing in this one is that you saw this triangle right here. So we have 60 plus 80 is 140. So over here must be 40 because the triangle equals 180. Right here is a straight line, so this must be 140. And this intersection right here is the same as this intersection right here because these are straight lines and the same line goes through it. So this is 40, this is 140, this is 140, and this is 40. All right, good luck with that. And then finally, let's see, I move, if I have these ones, I move the 10 over and make it -10. So I get 3x equals 12, divide by 3, x equals 4. Move the 15 over, make it +15. 4x equals 3 people on the negative team, 15 people on the positive team, so the positive team wins by 12. Divide by 4, x equals 3. I have to multiply by 3 halves to get rid of 2/3, so I'm going to multiply by 3 halves over here. I'll put a 1 on the bottom of the 6. These get rid of each other. X equals 6 times 3 on the top is 18. 2 times 1 on the bottom is 2, but 18 divided by 2 is 9. Same thing over here, 7/4 gets rid of 4/7. x equals, we have to times 7/4. 16 times 7 is 2, carry the 4. Let's see, 112 divided by 4, which is 28. Over here, we got to multiply by 6/5 to get rid of the 5/6. So 6/5 over here. X equals 16 times 5 is 90/5 equals 18. All right, and over here, if you could do this, this was a hemisphere, so you found this shape. You found a sphere, so you had to use volume equals 4/3 pi 2 to the third power. And then when you found that answer, you had to divide it in half because it's only half of a sphere. So that was part of it. Then you had to add on the cone, and we'll put the cone in green. You had to add on the cone. So what was that shape? That shape was, we found the circle right here. So that would be area equals pi r squared, and the radius was 2. So area equals 4 pi. We let it grow by 6. Area equals 24 pi. And then we crushed the sides in for a cone, so we divide by 3, and the area was 8 pi for that one. So we took the 8 pi, and we added it together with the answer we got up from here, because it's one big shape. And if you did that math right, you either got the 11th grade answer, which is 32/3 pi, or you put them both into a decimal and you added them together, and you got 33.5 units. So nice job if you could get that one. It was adding two shapes together, a hemisphere and a cone. So nice job.